Now it's time for the Voice for the Industry podcast.
All right, everybody, this is a really good episode. Most of the people that are familiar with the industry have heard of Coalmarch, been around a long time, done a lot of real powerful things in the industry. I was fortunate to spend some time with Jeff Davis, their CEO, at a couple of meetings here recently. Great guy, great company, just full of good people. So it's really great to sit there and kind of hear the history of it and the evolution of it and how it's changed a couple different times. But they're really staying focused. They're keeping up with the technology. And I think if you have any interest at all in marketing and how to improve your business and your sales, this is a good one to listen to.
Yeah, it's a great conversation. They're a partner and hearing their story. There was a lot of changes I didn't even realize. So it's a good conversation.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Great guy, like I said, great company. Check it out, take a listen, and then reach out to Coalmarch. Hey, everybody. We are very excited for today's podcast. We are honored to have Jeff Davis. So Jeff Davis, who I had the pleasure of spending a good amount of time with at a peer group meeting a couple weeks ago in California, is just a fascinating guy all the way around. But he is also besides being a fascinating guy all the way around, he is the Chief Executive Officer of Coalmarch, a leading marketing and technology solutions provider dedicated to helping home service businesses grow and thrive. I think most people in our industry have heard of Coalmarch. With over 25 years of experience in revenue and operational leadership, Jeff brings a proven track record of driving revenue growth, streamlining operations, and leading high-performing teams in the technology and service industries. Prior to joining Coalmarch, Jeff held executive leadership roles at Workwave, Quantec, and Team, that's all caps, software, where he spearheaded sales and operating strategies that transformed customer engagement and accelerated business success within the pest control, lawn care, security, and cleaning industries. His expertise in SaaS solutions, digital marketing, and direct operational efficiency makes him uniquely positioned to lead Coalmarch into its next phase of innovation and expansion. As CEO, Jeff is committed to strengthening Coalmarch's impact by enhancing its digital marketing solution, optimizing customer acquisition strategies, and fostering a culture of continuous improvement. Jeff's leadership is driven by a passion for helping service businesses navigate an evolving marketplace through cutting-edge technology and data-driven decision-making. Now, more about Jeff as a person. Jeff holds an undergraduate degree in marketing from the University of Louisville and a master's in business and information systems from Tennessee Technological University. He has also served as a board advisor for organizations focused on entrepreneurship and workforce development. Jeff resides in Louisville, Kentucky, with his wife, Julie, and their 2 teenage sons. Outside of work, he enjoys running. Of course he does. He's very fit. Coaching soccer, and spending time watching his kids play sports. A strong advocate for work-life balance, he brings the same dedication to leadership at Coalmarch as he does to supporting his family and community. Welcome, Jeff. Glad to have you.
Thank you, Raymond. I really appreciate being on the show. And to whoever or whatever AI script wrote that bio, I really appreciate that. I just need you to follow me around all the time.
I got to take a drink because that was a long one. Hold on.
That was a long one. Let me give everyone the short version of this one. So yes, I've been in technology. I've been in sales and marketing my entire career, from Louisville, Kentucky. I'll say it correctly for all the locals, Louisville.
I said Louisville. Yeah. I'm sorry, Louisville.
That's the correct way, and in most audiences, that's how I say it.
I'm with you, Louisville.
But you know, if there may be some locals listening, and I'll lose my card. So yeah, I've been in SaaS and marketing. I came through, lastly, the Workwave organization, and through several different M&As. So it sounded like a long bio with Quantec and Team Software and Workwave. I've actually never quit a job. They were just all these acquisitions that happened along the way, and now I'm at Coalmarch, and here we are.
There you go.
So yeah, it's been great. But I really appreciate joining the pod. This is great. I can't wait till the questions at the end too.
Yeah, we're glad. It's gonna be fun. We're glad to have you. All right, so let's talk about the big story. You know, your story, Coalmarch. You have a lot of history within the Workwave environment. Slingshot, Coalmarch, Workwave. But tell us about Coalmarch. Its evolution, and then your story as what you've done and how you got to where you're at now.
It's a little complicated. It's a little crazy. So let's start with Coalmarch. So Coalmarch, we're not new. We're a 20-year-old agency, but honestly, we were built in this industry, built in pest. You said home services, but really we're pest and lawn. That's really where we
everybody
focus our
says home
business.
services, but
yeah, everyone says home services, but we're really pest and lawn, and our DNA of the company itself was really built in the pest industry and the lawn industry specifically. So. Um, it's been wild. Donnie Shelton, of course, of Triangle was part of the initial build of the company, what I called kind of 2.0 of the company. It built up. It went to Real Green. Real Green went to WorkWave. Kind of came about. I came through a different path into the WorkWave world. We collided. I actually was, believe it or not, during the pandemic, I was known as almost a labor economist for janitors and security guards. I've worn some really, really different hats over the year. That was with Team Software. So I ran a company called Quantech Software. We were HR solution hiring. So hiring is also a passion of mine. We sold into Team Software. Team came into WorkWave. So all of a sudden we're in WorkWave. And WorkWave had acquired a bunch of companies. Slingshot was one of them you mentioned, all of these different companies. I was working with our COO at the time, Tim Robinson, and he's like, hey, I need help. We've got these different things that have come together. There's different marketing agencies, there's different marketing groups, print marketing, there's this voice call center operation. We need somebody to kind of put it all together. And that was my mission for a couple of years. And working with the group, the world changed. Interest rates got expensive. The demands on software was different. And all of a sudden we were in a position where I had this gem of a company that had kind of been protected off to the side in Coalmarch. Slingshot was already gone. Coalmarch sat off to the side and had kind of absorbed. The operation was so tight that it had absorbed a couple other groups. So it actually grew doubled in size within WorkWave. And I looked at the group and I'm like, hey, this is something special, and I don't want to see it get absorbed or get ruined, just pushing out EBITDA dollars to the SaaS organization.
Some kind of private equity disaster.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not pointing the finger.
I mean, you know, it happens.
Right,
I'm not blackwashing private equity in general, but we all know.
Yeah.
We all know those things happen. Yeah.
A service business unit in a software company are two different economic models, and a lot of times they clash. So, rule of 40, there's a lot of those PE terms that people use. And I kind of saw the writing on the wall. I'd already seen it happen. So I approached the executive leadership, and at the time was Dave Giannetto, and said, hey, let's find a way, let's find an exit out. Like, we can get value for the company right now. We went through that for about a year. Dave left, Kevin came in. I had to go resell the story. Long story short, we put together a few key investors. Tim Robinson jumped on board. Individual named Matt Hybels, who's got a background in the growing industry. So he's near the green industry, and Joe Cusick. So the four of us joined forces, and we came together as partners and said, you know what, let's buy this out. And Kevin Kemmerer at WorkWave was generous enough to let us do it. So today I stand, I'm the CEO, but I'm also a partner in this business. So nice. We're, I'm here with everyone else, and we're out on our own. Almost a year, if you can believe it. It feels like it was yesterday, but we're nearly a year coming out. So yes, that's a long and windy story. Believe it or not, some of the fun facts: Joe Cusick's invested in Coalmarch at least twice that I know of.
Yeah.
Over the years. This is Tim Robinson's second time acquiring it, because he was actually the COO of Real Green when he acquired it. So it's funny, Coalmarch just kind of keeps popping around, and somehow we're still here. 300 clients in the industry. We're still growing.
That's crazy.
It's fun. I'm just happy to be part of the journey.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, in a very unrelated but related way, I worked at Orkin Lawn Care in the 90s, early 90s, and they had their own software on these Wang computers, WANG.
I remember. And
they went to Real Green software in, I think it was 92. And it was great. Real Green. I mean, this was 30 whatever years ago. And we could run a report that would show us how many service tickets weren't done instead of having to pile them out. And I used to call for support, and I would talk to a guy named Joe, who's still there. Not Joe Cusick, the owner, but Joe McPhail. He was my support guy. He still works at Real Green. And so Joe Cusick has been around in the industry for many, many years. And just, and he had Real Green then, and then he came back, and then he had Coalmarch. But it's refreshing to see some of the really stable people that have been around a long time. There's a lot of talk about the new AI and all the fresh vision and everything else, which is very valuable. But you need that at historical perspective. You need somebody that's seen the industry grow and change and develop. And having Joe and other people and you and people that have been around a while in a leadership role of a company like that really does add a lot of benefit. And you also have some nice, young, visionary people who I've met on the Coalmarch team. So anyway, that's my babble about Real Green and Joe Cusick and everything else. But it's nice to see that Coalmarch is in really good hands, and we expect some really good things. And we're looking forward to really partnering up with you guys as well.
Oh, absolutely. That's one of the things that we've done in chumming out of the gate is build our partnerships. And, with Joe in particular, like I'm lucky. It's a blessing. I get to learn from the master. Right. And when you go to shows, he's a celebrity. When you go to green shows, like I just kind of get to tag along and be with him. So it's been great. I mentioned our staff here too. That was another reason. Our leadership team averages 10 years.
Yeah.
They built this company. And it's one of the true assets that we have of people that have literally seen evolutions. And we're going through another one right now. There's a whole technology revolution going on. I mean, I'm pretty sure your audience has heard of AI. You talk about it every week, right?
I hope so.
I hope they've heard about it.
Yeah.
But, we're in the middle of like another technology revolution right now. So it's fun. It's fun to be with the team that's been here and seen it and understands it. And we've got a lot of younger, new talent coming in that's kind of riding the bleeding edge. And I'm a self-described nerd. I'm a AI super user myself. So, I push the organization every day to get better on using these new technologies.
Oh, nice. Well, and we pursued Coalmarch for years. Tom Welsh, our CEO, we went and met Donnie in the office in Raleigh right before COVID hit. We had several meetings, so we're really happy where we're at now that we've got a partnership working together. We also have the PCO vendor collective, which, you're a part of, we're a part of, several other companies, PCO bookkeepers, ARM, labels SDS, Applause. We're all teaming together to work within the industry to give great discounts from mutual customers because we all support many of the same customers. So really excited. So talk a little bit about where Coalmarch is going now. You mentioned the AI and the technology and kind of what you're looking to do. Give us some insight on kind of what's the next step or what's the vision for moving forward now that you guys have kind of coalesced as a new organization. You've got some great leadership and great support, great people. What's the next iteration? What are you looking to do?
Oh, that's a good question. And by the way, I'm in Raleigh right now. I've got your desk right here, Raymond. Anytime you want to visit, you can come visit us in Raleigh. So the next iteration. So we're in a position, we're in a place right now, like every other industry, especially in service industries, where AI is completely changing the landscape. And I see a fork in the road that's starting to happen in many places. People are going two directions from service. Either they are going to full platform and building systems and AI to basically do the tasks of marketing, or they're going in a different direction where they're staying more on the consultative side. We're trying to put these two together. That's our mission. It's a little bit more complex than that. So the one thing that I've fallen in love with this industry, like everyone. I've been in here 4 years, hearing some of your other guests that have come on here. Once you get in here, the industries themselves, the owners working with them, you just get energy. Like the entrepreneurial vision and how this industry moves is unique. And I've been in a lot of different markets, a lot of different companies, a lot of different environments, and I have more fun here than anywhere else. So one of the things that we had to figure out was, how does our organization evolve and help our clients actually fulfill their goals? So we changed our mission. Came back, and that became our mission. Our mission is not to do marketing, provide marketing services. It is to help fulfill the dreams, the goals, the wishes of business owners and entrepreneurs. That's it. That's what we do as a business. Every day we get up and do it. And one of the first things that we looked at was, where do we really provide value in working with our clients day to day? The first thing we figured out was, and I've known this for a long time, being the software guy, being in the industry, software doesn't fix problems. Software gives you a platform to fix problems. and it can be used great. So when we started looking at our clients, and I'm talking our small to our largest clients, we had an epiphany. The strategy and working directly with them on the actual strategy and implementation was our sweet spot. That's where we really, really excelled. And in fact, a lot of clients that we had, we were their marketing department. And bigger clients, we were their digital marketing department. So we looked at it and said, you know what, let's double down on that. Let's put people up front and let's make sure that we're helping our clients with the best strategy to hit their goals. And sometimes those goals can be 20, 30% annualized growth. And we do our best to actually own that number with clients. So it's a little bit of a differentiation from a typical marketing agency. I'm using air quotes if you're listening to this and not watching the video. Marketing agency. We're really not
I
that.
talk with my hands, yeah.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
So the evolution of us, honestly, as a business, is we're absolutely adopting technology on the back end. We're absolutely building as much efficiency and as much scale as we can, so that we can move faster. As GSO changes, as SEO's already evolved into GSO, as AI agents come out there, consumer behavior switch. We've got to have technology to help us move quickly. But we've also got to have those people that are key up front working with business owners and how to adapt their strategy to where consumers are and understanding where to go get that new business to hit their growth numbers. So far, it's been amazingly successful. We've had a lot of success with it. Obviously, coming from WorkWave, we've got a very special relationship with WorkWave. We're their preferred partner. We've got API access. We work directly with them. Going to the Beyond service was like a family reunion. Like I had worked with pretty much everyone there over the past 8 years. So it's great. It's good. It's a little ironic that we had to get out of WorkWave to do some of the stuff we're doing right now. But that's just how it worked out. We needed to get away, and we needed to be able to invest our own dollars back into R&D and invest our own dollars back into the people and the platforms that were going to move us forward. And we've been able to pull it off. So it's an evolution. I'm probably speaking at a little bit of a higher level, and I'm sure I'll be corrected on some of this stuff later. But it's been a lot. It's been a lot of fun. We've got a lot of work to do, though. A lot of work to do, and a lot of new clients coming on board recently.
Yeah, it's funny you say it about the Workrate conference, because I feel the same way. I attended the Workrate conference as a employee of a pest control company for more than 15 years, and then I started here for the last 7 years. I've gone here. It was a lot more fun as a pest control guy because I didn't have to sit in the booth all day. But it is true, though. You get to know the people there, and you're walking through, and everybody's like, "Hey," and I find it interesting that you said we had to kind of leave to come back and be better with WorkWave.
Yeah,
and that makes a lot of sense, though, because sometimes there's constraints, like when you're an employee, you're a little more constrained than if you're a consultant, right? So now you're more of like a partner, and it's great. We are a huge partner of WorkWave. We love them to death, partner of you guys. So I think that's a great point, that the ability to kind of step back and then be able to create things on your own that make your partnership with WorkWave even stronger than it could have been as a entity owned by them. It really makes a big difference. I think that's pretty exciting.
I don't want to turn it too much into WorkWave real quick, but there is one point that I'll make coming out of that. I felt really good walking out of that conference. I felt like the WorkWave in general was on a very solid path. I think the new leadership that they've got in there is doing great work. I don't know about the vibes walking out, and all of my old coworkers and friends and everything. So I'm bullish on WorkWave right now. I like where we are. I'm happy that we're on our own. I'm happy we're no longer part because we can go back, but I feel good about the partnership, and I feel good about where they're going as an organization. So kudos to WorkWave if anyone's listening.
And they're a big player out there. There's a lot of other partners we work with. We work with all of them, Field Routes, and we're a real great part of WorkWave, and field work. We work with all of them, and they're all great. But you can't ignore WorkWave because they're big. And I remember when I was at Copasan, going to one meeting when they were in a tiny little building, and they had 12 employees. I think Kelly was my original CSR, and now she's the executive VP of everything. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, all right, enough about WorkWave. We love them. Good stuff. Right. No. Anyway, so what you talked about how you've changed your approach to be less of a marketing person, and what's best for the company. And it's funny, we've done the same thing. Our thing this year has been, let's not talk about functionality. Let's talk about results, because our customers are your customers. They're pest control, they're lawn. These people are running a business, but they're not marketing people. They're not phone people. They look to us for guidance, and they need us to tell them, not in a dictatorial way, but we need us to guide them, I should say, in like the best way to take advantage of what we can offer them. So that sounds like what you guys are trying to get across. And so what are some of the ways that you're trying to guide your customers to get the best return on investment and get the best results of what you guys can give them?
So it's a good question. So the way that digital marketing in particular is evolving is it's becoming much more laser specific. So the landscape is opening up. So let's just be honest. For the last 20 years, we've been playing this game that Google is the number one player put in front of us. It's their game. They dictate the rules. They don't tell you the rules. Billion-dollar industries popping up, players like us and all of our competitors and all these markets coming around, all these technology providers trying to figure out how to game what Google is doing because of their market share. So now all of a sudden you open it up. You've got ChatGPT, you've got Perplexity, you've got all these different AI agents that are popping in. Gemini is very strong, definitely a strong player, but consumer behavior switches. So even if we switch, let's say 10% of search behavior today, that's going to have a massive impact on the industry. So where we see our role in this is really we have to figure out exactly what's happening and where things are going. I think ChatGPT opened up paid ads for free subscribers, and we're already testing it. We're already seeing it. We don't have data on these type of things yet, but these things change overnight. New versions come out overnight. So when we're working with clients or just consulting with somebody, even non-clients, it's almost impossible to stay up on these trends and to be current. It's really hard for an in-house team who's doesn't live and breathe it coming out. So I think that's where we're focusing the majority of our time, is trying to predict the landscape, trying to predict how things are going to change. And really it's all about consumer behavior. Like where are consumers going to go now? So I'm still going to see that bug on the floor, and I'm still going to go to my phone in some capacity, or maybe I'm asking Alexa for the latest for pest control near me. I'm not really sure, right? So consumer behaviors are going to change, and it's a very complex landscape right now. So our mission right now is just to stay on top of it. We already know the SEO has changed, so your website's got to look different. Your audience has changed. Fun fact: so last year, if you look at our benchmark report, and can I do a shameless plug? You can go to our website, go to Coalmarch.com.
No, there's no such thing as a shameless plug. It's a shameful plug.
A shameful plug. Okay,
shameful plug. Do it.
A shameful plug.
Yeah.
It's free. Just come to our website and download it. We've got the 2026 benchmark report. So it's all of 2025 data to kind of give you trends in 2026. One of the most fascinating facts out of there, specifically for, I think Pest and Green kind of paralleled, but traffic was down. Website traffic was down 60%. I think it was 60. I don't have it in front of me, but it's somewhere around 60%. But organic lead volume was up 7. In 2015, 2020, that would have made no sense whatsoever. How did that happen? The explanation now is that we're getting so much more traffic coming through, where people are coming directly to the page and converting from an organic standpoint. It's AI. It's those little blurbs at the very top. It's just that consolidation from Google at the very top, the AI overviews that are already on the page. Google's conditioning us as consumers. And pretty soon, the rest of those blue links are going to go away. And it's just going to be an AI. And what happens at that point? So traditional SEOs change, but where's the information going into that box coming from? Well, it's still coming from your website. It's still coming through, but instead of a consumer going off and reading your website and 3 other websites, now the AI agent, the robot, is going out there and digesting all that. So now we have to translate it to what the robot's
We're going to be really shameful, and we're going to show this website you're talking about, and you could tell me, is that it right there? Can you see it? Where do I go?
That's our website.
Where do I go?
Let's see. You're just putting me on the spot right here.
Oh, well, let's see. Let's just click around a little bit. Oh, I got to log in. No,
now you're logging into our back end performance
I can't do
insights.
that. But anyway,
go to resources.
Resources.
go down to benchmark report. There it is.
Look at that.
See, that's our brand new website. Isn't it beautiful?
Look at that. That's beautiful. Oh,
It's
look at that. You can download it for free.
Download it for free.
All right. Well, I won't do that, but no, this is we're all about plugging. It's your show. You're here for Coalmarch. We want everybody to know that's Coalmarch's logo right there.
Hey,
their website's really easy to find, coalmarch.com. They don't make it too complicated, but I got to stop sharing. There you go.
So the fun story about the Coalmarch, why the Coalmarch name, it means a lot to me. So I'm, like you mentioned, I'm from Kentucky, and my family roots are from West Virginia. My grandfather was actually a coal miner in West Virginia.
Oh, wow.
And one of the very first things that we, very blue collar family that I came from. One of the very first things that we had a discussion around with the new ownership group was, hey, do we look at rebranding? Like we've got big plans for the business. We want to move in different directions. We look at it, and it was the first thing that I was like, no, we're not getting this up. Like that blue collar root, that's our DNA. It's where we came from. That's who we're servicing. We're servicing people that have come out, they've done the job, they've been out in the trucks and done it on their own, and we're not going to kill it. So good. We kept the brand. We kept you'll see more things. You'll see a canary around us, right? We're the canary in the coal mine.
Canary in the coal mine, for those that don't know what that means, right? It means they would take a canary down the coal mine in case there was no oxygen, and the canary would die first.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no easy way to say it, right?
So in other words, we're the leading indicator. That's what we're trying to be. We're trying to be the leading indicator, maybe not the dead
Let's
bird.
Let's make it positive. No birds are dying.
No birds are dying in the filming of this podcast.
Yeah. When it started coughing, we'd run it back up so it wouldn't die. That's what it was. Right. Anyway, no, that's fantastic. And there are a few companies like Coalmarch that have been around for a while that really are kind of, I look at as like our part of the industry. I think we are. Voice for Pest, we're like part of the industry. We go to the shows, we support. You guys support. You work with pest control companies. You understand pest control companies. What I like to say is, it's my time for a shameful plug, I guess, but we understand how pest control companies work. And so we provide a phone solution that's really designed to make them work better. And that's what you guys do. There's being in the industry and aware of the industry and working with pest control and lawn care companies very specifically, you realize, like you said, it's really a different group. And the thing that I always take away, and I've said this before, is the heart and soul of pest control is taking care of people, right? A pest control company is there to take care of their customers, make sure they're healthy, they're happy, they're bug-free. So the people that run those companies are generally people that just want to take care of people and to help people. And so support, vendors like us that work in that industry, I think we end up kind of with that same mindset that, we don't want anybody mad at us, because if they're mad at us and they start talking to other companies, they're going to say bad things. So we do our best, and so do you guys, to make sure all of our customers are really happy. And it's nice to see companies like Coalmarch out there working really hard in the industry to do their very best for pest control companies and lawn care companies.
Agreed. It's funny. We did another book this year with Applause, a joint book called The Growth Pyramid. And honestly, the core of it, like if you want the Cliff Notes version of it, was provide better service.
Right.
And in your reviews will tell everything you need to. We actually won't work with clients that have poor reviews, that have super low reviews, because they're not focused on the end result. Right. So we can't grow you. Like our mission is to grow you. And if you're not focused on providing great service, it doesn't help.
And make it easy for people to do business with you. That's the new, that's the new arc there, is like great customer service is good, but people want it to be easy. Like you said, they want to be able to go on the website. They want to be able to call you. 80% of pest control business is still over the phone. But they want it to be easy. I can go on Amazon and order something, have it show up at my house today or tomorrow. Everybody's conditioned to get things easily now. So it's really important for industries. Not that I'm preaching, and a lot of people know this, but the fact that you're like, look, I'm going to work with the people that do great service, make it easy. These are the companies that we can really promote and grow their business. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. So the next topic, what's next for home service? We always have this question, right? I always say AI is everywhere. In case you haven't heard about it, there's this new thing called AI. What's next for home services in the AI era? Kind of what do you see coming down the road with AI? And you already mentioned like the AI agents, the ones doing the SEO and things like that. But kind of what do you guys see coming down the road?
So, the immediate future, I think, is really prepped. You've been talking about this the past few weeks, actually. And you all are already here. You're doing a lot of it right now. I think the lower level human interactions, consumers are starting to accept it. If I can go through an AI agent and get my flight rebooked versus waiting for a human, I'll do it.
Right.
Sometimes the results are better, right? And I
Yeah.
think we're being conditioned as consumers to accept it. Now, my dad, who's in his 80s, may not. He's not. He wants to talk to a human, so we're still going to have a transition period. But I think that's where we are right now. Whereas, voice and sales motions are being taken over by AI, and it's a little scary coming. I spent my entire career in sales and marketing. You did too, Raymond, right? Like, so AI can do a lot of the job that we're seeing today.
Yeah.
So I think that's the short term of what we're seeing. I think long term, you're going to start to see in any technology revolution, there's kind of a retraction and then there's a boom, because there's a lot of fear around it right now. There's a lot of fear around that this productivity boom that's really happening. It happened with .com. We saw the same thing when the internet came around. Believe it or
Those
not,
of us that are old enough to remember it, yes.
so my first career, you want to reminisce on this one? My first career right out of school, I was actually a data engineer with Nextel.
Wow.
Remember Nextel? I guarantee you this audience remembers Nextel.
Oh, I
if they're of a
do.
certain age. Chirp, chirp.
I do. Absolutely.
We launched the very first BlackBerry.
I remember
Yeah,
PowerTel.
PowerTel.
Nextel. I remember all of it. Yeah, I was there.
We launched the very first BlackBerry and the very first like mobile IP. And I remember trying to convince people to use this new technology that was called SMS messaging.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what? Why would I send someone a text message when I can just pick up the phone and call them, or I can radio them? And I was like, I remember going to my wife, this is probably, we were newlyweds, like 2003, 2004. And I'm pulling out this device and I was like, one day this thing is going to rule your life. And she laughed at me. She's like, I've got a laptop. Why would I ever need anything
when you
like
did
that?
the text, you had to do the AAAA. And
Yeah,
then you had to do
T9 text.
Yeah.
You remember the T9 text?
I do. Yeah.
So, but it was a technology revolution, and it made us. It's come with problems, tons of problems, but it's made us so much better as an individual. We've become more productive as a society. We've become more mobile in what we've been able to do. It's allowed a lot of flexibility. It's had a lot of positives with it too. AI right now, we're at that point where T9 is not taken off yet, Raymond. We're not quite there.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a huge productivity bump. Now, in the meantime, we may have some lessening where you're like, all right, accountants, people doing tasks are going to be replaced. Anyone who's doing a task is going to have a hard time. But what it's going to do, it's going to elevate everyone else to come back and focus more on outcomes. So instead of just following tasks, we can have the robots and AI do tasks. And now the other people are going to have to elevate their game and start producing outcomes.
Higher level.
Eventually, higher level. So I think as a society, this is just me, I'm prognosticating here, but as a society, I think this makes us better. I think as humans, we will evolve into this, and this technology revolution is actually going to make us better as individuals. We're going to solve problems quicker, and we're going to be more focused on outcomes. I don't see it quite as scary as other people do. Now, I do think we're going to go through a period of transition that's going to be difficult. And that's kind of where I think everyone's looking at it right now. Specifically for marketing, where my eye is less on the tasks in the back office of how we operate and more toward the consumer. I look toward the consumer and how are they going to change their behavior in finding new services. I really think voice is where it's going to be. Just like video has become the new advertising, I think people talking to AI agents in their home is so easy and so quick and solves so quickly. If I'm in the shower and I've got a question, I can just ask Alexa, and now with Alexa Plus, I get an answer right away.
Yeah.
If I want to call my plumber, I can do it. I won't tell them I'm in the shower and I'm seeing the drain clogged up, but I think that's the next evolution that we're going to see. And that's where I'm really keeping a close eye. We are as a company right now. It's how does consumer behavior flip and where does it change? Because that ultimately is what affects our clients.
Yeah, no, I mean, we have Alexa, we have smart switches. Alexa turns our lights on and off, our fans on and off. She,
Right.
no, it's great. And she tells us the weather. She tells us this, she tells us that. I am a little worried because I'm older, that we're actually creating an intelligent being that's smarter than us, because typically the smartest one wins. But at the end of the day, plus I'm a guy from the Terminator era where Skynet, they took over the world and all that. But I agree with you 100%. I think I told you I was in Atlanta a couple weeks ago and they had these delivery robots. No, I was somebody else. And so I'm walking down the street and they have these it's Uber Eats, and there's little robots and they have a name, and you order something from, a sub shop, and it goes to the sub shop and they put the food in there, and it drives down the street and everything to your wherever you're at, and you get it. But the funny thing is, as it's driving down the sidewalk, it's passing by all the homeless people sleeping there. So it's like, it's a very interesting dichotomy. But then I'm thinking, like, what it's going to be 5 years. So my prediction is we're all going to end up like the people on Wall-E, big and fat and floating on a thing with a screen in front of us, for those of you that remember the movie, right? Because why not? But no, I think AI is great. It's going to do some things. As somebody like you that was here before the internet broke, I was a 3-channel guy with, a 20-inch console TV with an antenna that you had to move every day to get the right signal. So I've seen the internet come along, and AI is just going to really change things, but for the better, to your point, when it comes to marketing and everything else. And yes, and I think, I've met with several groups recently, owners, and to your point's exactly right. Let the AI do the mundane things, right? Let AI reschedule a service. Let AI take a payment, and let your humans that have the ability to reason and have empathy and communicate to people be the ones that talk to those customers that need help, right? That are unhappy, or they need a specific situation. And then the humans become more valuable, to your point, right? Because they can do things that AI can't do, at least right now. So it's all exciting. It's really good. All right. Well, okay, we're almost done here. So the last thing is there's any topic that you want to bring up as the guest. It can be anything. It can be food, clothes, whatever. Doesn't have to be related to Coalmarch or the industry, or it can be. So is there anything you'd like to bring up for our closing topic?
This is it. We've talked a lot of stuff. We've already hit AI. We've kind of gone into the future and talked more about our background. I got a question from you. So I've been listening to the podcast recently. You and I've spent some time. We've kind of come together.
You're the only one.
Hey, there's a couple people listening right now.
I always say the 7 people that listen. But anyway, yes, sorry. We just
DM us so we know that you're listening. How about that?
Yeah.
So you mentioned, you talk a lot about cooking. You mentioned Italian.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Italian dish to make? I know you're going to throw some crazy questions at me here in a minute. I'm going to throw one at you. I'm going to put you on the spot.
I'm going to throw a food one at you too. But
okay, all right, let's do that.
My favorite Italian dish to make. That's a good one. Oh my goodness. I would have to say I make a really good lasagna.
Okay.
Really good lasagna.
All right.
It's a double batch lasagna. It's like that thick, and I use sausage and beef. That would be my favorite to make. It takes me a long time to make it, but it's really good. And that's like my look how great I am dish. I can really make a good lasagna. What about you? What's your favorite dish? What's your favorite Italian dish to make, or any dish?
But ironically, I actually worked in a gourmet Italian restaurant in college. I was the bar manager and did a little bit of training in the back. Honestly, my favorite dish to make, and I've taught my teenage boys this, it's the simple marinara sauce.
There you go.
Like the simple stuff. And if you can get fresh tomatoes in the summer, when they're coming out, and boil them, blanch them yourself, and make it. That makes everything. It's like,
that's how you do it.
A little bit of salt, a little bit of olive oil, few herbs in there, and you're done. And it's the best thing. On top of that, my cooking is mostly smoking. I'm big on the big green egg and the smoker.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's usually where I spend my time.
My maternal grandmother was full-blooded Italian. She came over from Italy, and my father, who was her son, he would make what he called wop slop. Now, wop is a derogatory term for Italians. When they came through Ellis Island, if they didn't have papers, they would write WOP on them for without papers. So that's how wop become. But he called it wop slop. And you're right. He would make that. It would cook for 24 hours. We would sneak in there and get some bread and dip it in there, and he'd yell at us. And it's all about the sauce. But anyway, now that I'm hungry, let's bring in Carissa and Bren, and we'll do some fun stuff at the end. This has been fantastic, Jeff. I appreciate all the time. This is one of our longer podcasts, but it's also been one of our better ones, and it's really been good stuff. So now we have some fun questions to do. Kind of ties into what you just said, but I made up one. I'm going to go with that one first. I thought about this last night. If the only food you could ever eat for the rest of your life was a casserole, what casserole would you make? And we're going to start with Carissa because somebody has to go first.
A casserole? We don't do that. I've never made a casserole. I know, I'm thinking.
All right, Bryn, do you have one? Anybody that has one, I guess. Casserole. You got to answer.
I've got one. I've got
Jeff.
one.
Jeff, what's yours?
I've got one. I'm just gonna say my favorite casserole. I'm sure I would be sick of it on day 2, as you would with any casserole.
Right.
Chicken and rice is gonna sound great, but my grandmother's squash casserole is like this staple at our Thanksgiving, and we only get it once a year. And now it's gone to my sister to make, and she actually improved it.
Wow.
In fact, if you all want to cut that snippet out for me so I can send it
to you. Did she use AI? Did she use AI to make it better?
I don't know. She may have, but whatever it is, it's one of those things.
We will send you that to get credit with your sister for sure. Yeah.
And living and growing up in kind of the South, like Thanksgiving is serious. Like we've got some serious stuff.
It's
the
a big responsibility.
Yeah.
All right, Carissa, Bryn. That's a good one. Carissa, Bryn.
I'm probably going to go basic with like chicken and rice because that's
all she ever eats anyway. That's all she ever eats.
I mean, I have to go with Carissa. I'm not really a casserole person.
So I'm going to throw this out there. Tuna noodle casserole, baby. All the way. Tuna noodle, but no crunchy peas. I can't stand the crunchy peas in tuna casserole. If I make it, they're not crunchy, but if I buy like a Stouffer's one or something, because I'm just being a bad person, I always scoop all those little crunchy peas out. But I could eat tuna noodle casserole as long as I have to. So, all right. So then the next question. As a child, we're gonna go with Jeff first since he's a guest of honor. As a child, what was your least favorite food, and do you still hate it, or do you now love it?
So I'm not a picky eater at all, and like I pretty much like everything out there. Wow. In fact, I love Asian foods. Indians, my go-to. So I don't have a lot of not likes except for one, and you actually just mentioned it, Raymond.
Tuna.
Peas.
Peas. That's funny.
To this day, I cannot. Now, if you give me like a split pea soup, I can deal with it. But like having actual peas in anything,
that's funny.
Cannot do it. If I went back to my real grown up, like lima beans were kind of in there. We had something we ate like in the Southeast. Never really cared for that butter beans, but like peas to this day, I'm just like flick them across the room, get them off my plate.
That's funny.
Don't want them.
That's great, Bryn.
Yeah.
Least favorite peas is a good one. But I got to have peas that are squishy. If they're squishy, I can eat them. Bryn?
I would say Brussels sprouts.
And are they still a least favorite?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't had my Brussels sprouts.
See, I love Brussels sprouts.
Lots of bacon, do them on the grill.
But they have to be soft. I like everything soft. That's my thing. No crunchy. Carissa, you can't choose rice or chicken.
I'm going to say broccoli. And I still don't like broccoli.
You don't like broccoli?
No.
All right. Well, mine was lima beans, still lima beans. Okay. And my stepdad, God rest his soul, he would serve, we would have lima beans and he would be like, you have to eat some. And I'd be like, no. And he would sit there at the table. Him and I were the only ones left at the table watching me, waiting for me to eat my little thing of lima beans. And he would go, I can't believe you're waiting this long. And I can't believe you're sitting here watching me. I'm not eating these lima beans. And then eventually when he like looked, I would take him and stuff him under the chair. I hate lima beans.
Awful.
All right.
Awful.
And I don't know what that says about me as a person. And I still hate lima beans. All right. So here's one other one. Would you rather always be slightly late or slightly early?
Who's first?
You.
In the Davis household, we joke. You are always early. 15 minutes is on time.
Okay.
If you're not at least 15 minutes early,
you're one of those
15 minutes early, you're off.
You're late. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think the other two people on this call know where I fit. All right, Bryn, what do you say?
I'm like Jeff. I've been a military family, so 15 minutes early, you're on time.
On time. Yep.
Yeah. Carissa?
Same, early. Yeah.
I'm the one they always have to send a tease message to. Are you joining the meeting? Because if the meeting starts at 2, it starts at 2. It doesn't start at 5 till. And I usually get there at 2:01. So I have to say I'm the bad person in the group. I tend to be late, but I'm also tend to be totally disorganized. And then the last one. If you can eliminate one thing from your daily routine, what would it be and why? We'll let Carissa go first. She's very routine-like. One thing you could eliminate.
This was probably like, this is hard. I would say mine, because I'm the one who cooks, that I would eliminate cooking dinner. Have somebody to cook dinner so I don't have to. That's my daily routine.
There you go. Smart.
Yeah.
I do all the cooking as well. So
Mhm.
so no more cooking.
No
You're
more
talking
cooking.
like somebody else come in and cook, or just delivery, or whatever it is. You don't have to do it.
Whatever it is, as long as I don't have to cook.
Got it. A
Or
drone?
think of what to cook for dinner every night.
You have to
Yeah.
think about it. You have to plan it. You have to
Yeah.
buy it. You have to do all that's a lot of work.
Mhm.
Bryn?
I would say not having like the tired, sluggish state whenever I wake up. I could just wake up and be awake. That'd be amazing.
So how long does it take you to get through your tired, sluggish state to where you're functional every day?
Probably an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. You must wake up early. Or you're just sluggish for the beginning of your workday.
Yeah.
Good thing you work remote. No, I'm kidding.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Jeff, what's the one thing you would eliminate from your daily routine?
It's coffee. And it's, Brent, I'm with you. It's an hour to wake up in the morning. It's an hour to get going. And I'm normally a big runner. If you meet me in person, you're going to look and say that you're not a runner. But I'm a runner, and I'm
pretty runner.
Yeah. 6'6", 230. It's not really a runner build. And I'm dealing with a hip injury right now, so I'm not running. But same thing. It's the crutch. It's the coffee in the morning to get me going, to get me out and hit my 5 or 6 miles, 8 miles, whatever it is. Yeah.
Good answers.
And I could get rid of it. I could, I don't want to.
Good answers. All right. Well, I guess I have to answer it. So mine would be not sleeping. I would love to be able to sleep because I never sleep. But I sleep for 2-3 hours, and I'm up for 2-3 hours. I sleep for an hour or two. But if I get 4 hours of sleep altogether over an 8 or 9 hour period, and I'm up pretty good, I'm not too sluggish. I gave up Red Bull and all that stuff, and I might have a cup of coffee now and again. But no, that was it. Well, listen, this has been just a fantastic podcast, longer than most, which is great. We'll definitely send you a clip so you can get credit for your sister on the improved food. But no, it really though, great meeting and great discussion. Thank you so much, Jeff. Any parting thoughts for the audience out there?
No, this was fantastic. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. And I'll come back. Tell me what we want to talk about next.
All right, well, you're in. We're going to get you scheduled. I'm a big fan of repeat business. We're good. All right, everybody. This is it. Bye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for joining us.
See you next time.